some short answer questions for me right here. What's the minimum credit score I need to buy a house?
640 right now, 640.
640, okay. Debt to income ratio. Can you explain that real quick and tell me what that needs to be?
Your gross income. So your gross is the highest number on your W-2. We give you credit for your gross. So if your salary is $100,000, that's your gross income.
Okay.
Your total debt to income ratio in most cases cannot exceed 44% of that figure. Your debt to income ratio is going to be the proposed mortgage payment, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance on the proposed property, plus any debt that appears on your credit report. That's your debt to income ratio.
So the debt on my credit report, so my utilities right now don't count.
No.
What about like daycare?
Nope.
Health insurance?
Nope.
Okay. Anything, so I add up everything in my credit report. These are my monthly payments. If I'm above 44%, you can help me structure a way that maybe I have a couple $1,000s in the bank. I can pay off a high interest credit card.
Yep, very common.
Okay, so you do that and you'll help with that process.
Yes.
Okay, if my credit is just below 640, what are some of the best things that I can do to improve it?
We have a rescore capability, which means we can rescore a credit report relatively quickly. Full disclosure, it usually takes a full 30, if not 45 days on the quick end to boost a score. But if you're willing to do it, we can help you. Paying off revolving credit cards, that's a great way to do it. Yes, you need a certain amount of credit card debt to show that your, not debt, cards open.
Yeah.
The best thing for your credit score is a revolving trade account, a MasterCard, Visa, Amex, that you're able to pay off monthly.
Right.
It's open, you've paid it as agreed, that's a great way to boost your score.
Gotcha. So if I've been just going crazy on Dave Ramsey, reading all of his books, and I'm not opening anything, that could come back to bite me in the end because I need to open at least, how many? Is it 2 trade lines?
I would say 3 is ideal. We see it, an older individual, an individual who's been a consumer in the marketplace for a number of years, if they have a limited number of trade lines, there's still a depth of their credit profile that it's likely their scores are going to be okay. It really impacts younger people, people who don't have a real depth of credit history. You need to have a few trade lines open. Car lease is a great way to go. Okay.
Excellent. Student loan payments, how do they affect me getting a mortgage? This is getting more and more complicated, isn't it?
They're included in the debt to income ratio. A lot of times people are consolidating that, but the general rule of thumb, we're going to use 1% of the outstanding balance. Okay? That's going to be, even if your payment's different, or a lot of times a payment doesn't even appear on a credit report for a student loan, but 1% of your balance is going to go against your debt to income ratio.
Okay, so if I owe $36,000 in student loan debt, you're going to take $3,600 of it.
$360.
$360.
You must have gone to public schools.
A month. Yeah. So you're still paying it back.
$36,000, 1% of that would be $360. That is your payment that goes against your debt to income ratio.
That is your payment that goes against it. Okay, sounds good. So I can add this up on myself, but I should really call a mortgage lender to get going in the process.
I hope you, because it's all I do day in and day out, every day. And the good news, recently, there's been a lot of changes to our industry, as with any industry, but changes I like. They're not arbitrary figures anymore. It's really a cut and dry black and white world as it comes to financing. It's a hard debt to income ratio cap. It's a hard credit score cap. It's a hard asset cap. So it's easier to aim for. It's not arbitrary.
Perfect. It's been great talking to you, Tom.
Great talking to you.